Yes, my factory is not even. This is to me. Good morning, Mr. Samuel.
Good morning, ma.
You have a check for this one.
Good morning, ma.
You step forward, my guy. I didn't recognize his name. Yes. We need to do that. My camera is not going to work. The camera is not detecting the
Hello.
Mr. Samuel, can you hear us? Mr. Samuel.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right. Don't take some couple of minutes, then we can start so that those who want to join can join and all of that. So we'll take like 2 or 3 minutes, then we'll start.
I think the network is bad over there.
Can you hear me
The
now?
network is not bad.
Okay. Morning, ma.
So I'm saying that we'll take some couple of minutes, then we'll start so that those who want to come in can come in and sit down and then we can start.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Okay, ma.
So it doesn't make a difference. Is the
Because that is being corresponding with us, so so that's the same. No problem. So this one that you need. They want you can have a perfect 6 5 yeah, it's just okay. It's not the same as there's no way.
almost, 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 almost. Do you have a sheet of paper? Be careful, be careful. Everything. No, just to write some of the points that could be raised. What about the back? Don't share it. I'll give it back to you. Eh? I can see some space at the back.
Yeah, the other part line is what kind of it.
Okay. You come and sit here too. You are a presenter. You sit here. Presenter sit there too. Can't you see it's 4 chairs for all of you to sit? You sit there. My brother, what is your name? What's your name, my dear? Adeyinka. Okay. Ade. And you?
I'm Esther.
Okay, I will not forget. Because that's my mother's name. Yes.
You find it. Then. It wasn't. Yes, that's. It was like teaching. No. We can so it's not this stuff. I'm not using it. You know, I do. One more is it? And I have called to. We need two more dollars. Yeah. That's it. No. Maybe stuff like that. And this thing to that. Okay. Interesting. Very, very fun. It's for the 2014. There was a breach of goals which are the government's not really the person to see. And then that just is something to be. Okay.
Yes, now we start. Yes. Yes. So thank you very much. Good morning. I'm Dr. Dewumi Joy. Welcome to our panel, which is titled Violence in Africa, Political Legacies and Modern Challenges in Governance. This is part one of it. And we have 4 discussants. Unfortunately, 2 of them will not be around because, and they're from University of Lagos. Fortunately, they said that they were bereaved. So they've gone to bury their loved ones. So we excuse them. But we have 2 interesting papers. One from Ms. Omogiwa, and the other one from Mr. Samuel Oladele from Tai Solari College of Education. I think we should take the virtual one first, yes, before the network started misbehaving.
Right, Mr. Samuel, please confirm that you're ready to make your presentation and you can hear it clearly.
Okay. Can you hear me over there?
Yes, good.
Oh, are you seeing my screen, sir?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a great privilege to be among great minds and men of and women of intellectual prowess, great intellectual prowess. I'm Samuel Olale by name, from Cashline University of Education. The topic before me, titled before me this morning, is Security Challenge in the Northwest Nigeria, a critical analysis on the rise of Lakuaras. Lakuaras. This introduction, security in Nigeria is greatly influenced by socioeconomic, political, and ideological factors. In fact, terrorism, crime, and other insurgencies often stems from poverty, poor governance, and radical ideologies. Unregulated regions and porous borders that actually allow extremist ideologies to thrive in the Sahel regions. So, however, based on the focus of this particular study, in the Northwest, internal security challenges such as banditry, kidnapping, and livestock rustling have displaced over 1 million of people. Criminal networks actually exploit historical grievances and weak borders control with neighboring countries. The Lakowaras, once a local criminal group, has evolved into a jihadist organization, aligning with regional militants and recruiting youth through financial incentives. So this study fills a critical gap by focusing on the under-researched Lakowaras group, which has been overshadowed by broader analysis of banditry or established terrorist group like Boko Haram and ISWAP. It addresses the group historical evolution, unique recruitment strategies, and alignment with global jihadist network, which are scarcely covered in existing literatures. It is to also sound that this study adopts a desk review methodology, and based on this, I will give a synoptic view in the insecurity in the Northwest Nigeria. When we talk of the Northwest Nigeria, we know it is a geopolitical zone that composed of 7 states: Jigawa, Kano, Kebbi, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kaduna. So Northwest Nigeria actually faced a lot of escalating security threat that is driven by historical rural conflict, climate change, and weak governance. In fact, long-standing tensions between the Fulani herders and settlers over land and water have been intensified due to environmental degradation and population growth. The disputes actually evolved into violent conflict as climate change reduces grazing land and a small arm flowed across porous Sahel borders. By 2010, pastoral clashes gave way to organized crime, with groups like that is fueled by poverty and youth unemployment. In fact, this youth unemployment exceeds about 60% in the state like Zamfara and Sokoto. The Lukawaras, which is our main concern, a jihadist group emerged as a key threat in Kebbi and Sokoto, executing deadly attacks and aligning with Sahel-based extremists. Thousands have been killed in the violent incidents of Lukawaras, including mass abductions and attacks on communities, schools, security forces, weak border control, poor governance, and underdevelopment, which have enabled terrorist expansion, displacing over 1.3 million people by 2024. And this will actually bring a kind of inquiries on what are the causes of insecurity in the Northwest Nigeria. In the Northwest Nigeria, I have been able to divide the causes of insecurity into about five categories. Number one, international conspiracy and external influence. The popular news headlines in the last year, so this year, actually shows that there are international communities which actually fueled terrorism in Nigeria, most especially in the popular north region of Nigeria. Nigeria porous borders actually enable this. For example, the importation and enablement of arms inflow from Libya and the Sahel. In fact, foreign actors finance banditry and expose our mineral wealth. This can also be seen by the recent news and by the recent publications by United Nations Institute of Disarmament Research, which actually enhance the managing existing from armed conflict, MEAC reports, which is a workshop that was held by the United Nations Publication Unit. They have been able to discover that majority of the great number of the terrorists, great
The political Islam.
communities. So the only thing they could use, even as an instrument of neocolonialism, is to make sure that they sponsor terrorism in the region and at the same time exploit the mineral resources in those regions, using it in their own communities. Report also link Mali-based founders and illegal Chinese mining in Zamfara. That is, they are mining goats, they are mining that are needed for their own development. So all they need to do is to fuel more. All they need to do. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Hello?
We can hear you, Mr. Samuel.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Samuel.
Hello, can you hear me over there?
We can.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Use your hand to go ahead.
No, we are the ones that but the camera is not.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Samuel. We can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me over there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you want to send him a message? So
We can hear him. We can hear him. No, we're hearing him. We just continue.
Mr. Samuel. Mr. Samuel. He has muted himself.
Ah. When you are doing this, you should let somebody who is computer network substitute. No, it's not a share. Yes, I didn't think. And they said, I thought I need to meet by 11. Well, meet by 11. Let's give him 5 minutes more.
I think he's muted.
Yes, he muted himself. I'm trying to do that. I mean, you need to make some. Okay, it's not working. Thank you. If it's not, I can stop.
Sure. Whatever you decide.
He said what?
Whatever you decide about.
Yes, I said let's just give him some 3 more minutes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Hey,
We can hear you now, Mr. Samuel.
He doesn't have to use the headphone.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, Mr. Samuel.
I believe you can hear me over there.
Yeah.
The yeses are menu.
Can you hear me over there?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I think it should be moved there.
Okay. Please disconnect your headphone.
And unmute yourself.
Disconnect your headphone. That's the problem with technology.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yeah, very well.
Can you hear me now?
Very well, very well.
It's technological itch. The paper is interesting.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Samuel.
Hello?
We can hear you, Mr. Samuel. We can hear you. This one. For operation. So, Mr. Samuel, can you hear us now? Switch on the device.
Do you want us to connect to the next person?
Because we're supposed to be four presenting today. Because we're supposed to be four presenting today, and two people were bereaved. So that is why we are just trying to make some space for him. But let's give him another 5 minutes. If it does not come up, we'll switch to the next person.
Okay.
Mm.
Not there.
Because it's a very interesting paper it's presenting.
Mr. Samuel.
I hope it is stable now.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Mr. Samuel?
He's muted.
He's muting himself. I didn't mute him. Mr. Samuel. Sir? I've tried to do that several times with him, and then I don't know what's happening. Unmute yourself, please. Don't mute yourself again, Mr. Samuel. Can you hear us?
Hello, can I continue?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Please check your how. Audio out. Take off your multisokini now.
Yeah, I've taken it off already.
Okay, now you can hear us then.
Yes.
Okay, so you can continue, please.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. So actually, sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
Sorry for the so sorry.
It was due to
So
power
I'm
failure.
actually
Continue.
okay. So still actually talking about the causes of insecurity in the northwest Nigeria, and I've been able to highlight two of them: political terrorism entrepreneurship, international conspiracy. Also, we could talk of weak security and governance structure. At certain times, based on unused territories that are actually more occupied by bushes, some of these terrorist groups find havens. They find havens, they find a place where they could reside very easily. So lack of security presence in some of those safe havens actually make it safe for terrorists. Corruption and poor justice systems empower criminal gangs, such as we have in Nigeria. Even though the United Nations and international standards that we have allowed, such as when we caught up with some Boko Haram gangs or any terrorist gang that are apprehended by the military personnel, we do give them repentant, we call them repentant Boko Haram, which actually at certain time, studies so far has even shown that based on their well-known strategies of operation, they actually still they actually still held back with the existing terrorist group organizations. They help them in operations based on their well-known tactics. We also, as I actually say, we also have ethno-religious extremism. Ethno-religious extremism, we know that some of this terrorist group believes that they are actually fighting for their gods. They are actually fulfilling the prophecy of their gods based on certain beliefs which actually fuel their operations. In fact, some ethnic tensions and those religious radicalism is actually one of the fueling force for recruitment and attacks in some communities. Boko Haram actually and ISWAP, for example, they exploit identity divisions. Example is what happened in Sokoto church attack, Kaduna ethno-religious clashes, radicalization that thrives on exclusion and poverty. So all of these are actually extremists believing that if we kill people, we gain certain rewards from our God in heaven. Environmental and resource conflict actually is one of the reasons of the causes of terrorism in the northwestern Nigeria. So the emergence of Lakwaras, there are two ideologies that believes that Lakwaras existed. According to United Nations Institute of Disarmament Research, they believe that some people believe that Lakwaras originated in 2010 as an herdsman from Mali and Niger. They settled in Sokoto State, and they have been longly impacted by banditry and caste rustling. While some other sources from MAEAC, Managing Existing from Armed Conflict, they believe that Lukawaras actually come from Mali. They are Malian herdsmen who fought alongside with Seleka military coalition against the anti-Balaka in the Central African Republic around 2012 to 2013. They believe that after they eventually returned from the Mali, that the group clashed with the military, forcing them to relocate to Niger. And from that, following several years of them moving in and out of Nigeria, northwestern region, the group actually find a way to settle in Nigeria permanently. While some other sources believes that sometime in 2017, that this group, they initially carried rifles to protect their cattle. And the local leaders who have been faced with terrorist clashes actually approached them to use them to combat bandits and to protect their communities. So at the long run, this group actually, they betrayed the local leaders, and based on this betrayal, they leveled taxes on local leaders and their communities. They imposed their own kind of Sharia laws on them. And based on this, they started to become a threat to the community. They become a full-blown terrorist group. So, based on this, we could say that Lukawaras ideologically, they are formed. They are formed based on the beliefs. They are formed based on the beliefs of the community leaders to believe that they can fight bandits or terrorism in their country with their own local custom-made ideology, which is not actually in reality. The Lakuwaras, they actually recruit people through combination of financial incentive, coercion, and ideological indoctrination. In fact, they reportedly offer large cash payments to unemployed youths in Sokoto, KB, and they enforce loyalty through violence and exploit ethnic and environmental grievances to gain support. Organizationally, the Lokawaras compose of about 200 to 300 fighters. They are led by operatives from Mali, Niger, and Chad. Their operation includes attack on local communities and security forces, with notable incidents such as killings in Mera in KB, and dozens of fatalities that happened throughout 2004. They left on border porosity to maintain mobility and influence across areas of Gudu, Tangaza, and the wider areas of Sokoto region. And based on this, their pattern and operational tactics include they kidnap for ransom, they extort the zakat from cattle owners. That is where we begin to have them imposing tax on farmers.
Mr. Samuel,
On
Mr.
farmers,
Samuel,
they have to pay certain tax
Mr. Samuel,
before they can. Ma,
please try to conclude. Please conclude.
okay, ma. Thank you very much. However, so much based on this study that have been carried out so far, this particular Lukawaras actually have they have a lot of they have what's called negative socioeconomic and political impact. Both on humanitarian impact, they displace people in Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, and Kaduna, socioeconomic disruption, collapse of economics dependent on agriculture and livestock, governance crisis, erosion of governmental authorities in vulnerable areas, they enforce parallel taxation and justice systems, they bring about public mistrust. So based on this particular studies will conclude that Lukawara's rise reflect to economic deprivation, weak governance, and porous borders driving insecurity in northwest Nigeria. In fact, qualitative analysis will actually tells us that the integrated strategies addressing poverty, unemployment, and governance along security measures to make sure that they thrive in Nigeria, in northwestern Nigeria. And this Lukawaras actually still thrived to threaten the regional stability in the region. So it, however, make certain recommendations that we should strengthen our border security to curb armed trafficking. we should also make sure that we enhance targeted counter-insurgency against Boko Haram's bases. We should implement disarmament to reduce small arms. And we should empower our youths. We should train them. We should invest in their education, promote inclusive governance via peace negotiation. We should reform enforcement and judiciary to combat corruption, regulate vigilantes for accountability. And we should actually enhance ECOWAS and joint task force that are actually fighting terrorism, MNJTF, against Sahel threats, so as we could have influence in the northwestern Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. That was a very interesting paper. At first, it delves into the rise of the Lakaroas in the northeast of Nigeria and their incident and the evil they've been causing us as a country. And he made us to know that if we eschew corruption, put a good task force in our borders, and try to see those who are eligible to come into our country and those who are not, I think the Lakaroas, their existence will be no more in our country. So please, we want reaction to that paper. Yes. Let's take it so that when we finish, we know we'll get to you.
All right, so does anyone have any question based on the presentation that we just had? Yes, someone can. Okay, someone is raising their hands online. Okay.
Online too? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, let's take one from here. Take one from here.
Can speak. Uh-huh.
Can you move forward so that you can?
The presenter, thank you for the presentation. Some cracks. So I don't know if I mentioned anything to do with financing of the because it's very important. In terrorism, one of the very important.
Mr. Samuel, please confirm that you can hear us clearly. Mr. Samuel?
Yeah. I'm with you, sir.
Okay, we just want to make sure that you're getting the questions correctly.
Yes.
Mr. Samuel, thank you once again for the presentation. At the point we couldn't hear you, so I just want to be sure if you made mention of possible sponsors of this terrorism, because it's very important. Because we heard you talking about the antecedents here and there in Sokoto and other places. So there must be a place where you could tell the reader or the masses about possible sponsorship of them. And again, I don't know if I'm mistaken. I think this is a new terrorist group that has just killed some persons in Para States, right? I don't know if I'm right. If I'm right, you need to also let us know about the very recent killings in Para State. But it's very important because I was even surprised talking about Sokoto that didn't happen. This a good knowledge to me that look how I thought it just came up like some few months ago and not knowing that it's been part of Nigeria from Sokoto since 2010. That's very important. But please verify if it is the one that has just killed some persons in Para State. You need to put that in your paper. It will make your paper much interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get that, Mr. Samuel?
Okay. Yes, I took that.
Okay.
Let the online
Can I react?
No, let the online person ask, so it takes them all at once.
Okay, so there's another question. So we're going to take both questions at
Okay,
once.
there's another person asking a question.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Sama, for that wonderful presentation. So we have much interest in this topic because it's national interesting. You know, apart from Sokoto and the rest of other area you mentioned, Benue is also a focus now. And I was surprised to hear from the chief of staff, the first staff, on Thursday yesterday, say that the issue, the community people about these security personnel, feed them, even cover the women to stay and launch attack in the community. So where do you place this? Is it politics? Is it, I don't know, a member of the communities harboring the invaders to kill their brothers? How do you place this? Thank you.
One last question from online. Mr. Okoyemi Samuel Lapara, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Samuel, thank you for this wonderful presentation, so robust and fascinating. Yeah, I agree with you that the porous border is one of the reasons for what you have said. Let's take, for example, the Ambazonia attack that occurred in Taraba. It was as a result of the porous border. The Ambazonians came from the Cameroon. Please, what could be the solution to this porous border? That's my number one question. The second question is that hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Can you get the first question?
Yeah, what is the solution to porous border?
Yeah,
I can get it. I get it, sir.
Okay. And the second question is that, can you please give us the meaning of Lukarawa? What is the meaning of Lukarawa? Thank you. That's just my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I react now?
Yes, quickly.
Okay, the first question that was raised as regarding a statistics of recent killings in Kwara and their possible sponsors. So far, around 2020, about 9 names of prominent politicians in Nigeria were named to be found as one of the sponsors, allegedly, of terrorists in Nigeria. And those names actually composed of our top politicians and our so-called big men in Nigeria. I don't think if I'm permitted to mention names. Yeah. As part of ethical consideration. Okay, thank you very much. So on the recent killings in Kwara, that is it Lakwaras that actually operated in Kwara or not? Yes, Lakwaras was the one that operated in Kwara State of recent. And based on the insecurity nature of Nigeria, it's becoming very hard for us to identify one of those who strike. In fact, we even have another one coming up, Mahmuda. We don't even know if it is Mahmuda that strike or Lakwaras because of the insecurity nature we have. But report shows that it is Lakwaras that actually operated in Kwara of recent, and about 100 people were killed and about 40 people were displaced. That is based on the report from Punch News. And people who actually ask us regarding the Benue killings, that is it politics? Yes, the Benue killings is partly political because at the time where the killings happens in Benue State, some report actually believes that it was to actually in reacting to the non-involvement or not imputing of Shettima as the non-imputing of the present vice president coming up in 2027. Some people believe that they want to indict this new government. That is why they actually launched the killing in Benue State. And some report actually believes that, based on intelligence, that the local leaders and community leaders are the ones that sold their communities out to terrorism. So these two perspectives are actually right. Based on the history we have about terrorism so far in Nigeria, they are right. We have seen where local leaders actually sold out the whole of their communities and their land for ransom, for terrorist attack. We have seen how where local leaders actually collide with terrorists to invade their communities. So some also raise the question that what could be the solution to porous borders? There is no other solution to porous borders than our security forces should actually act professionally. In fact, there's no what we can do to it. For example, the recent killing of a popular man, the popular so-called herbalist in Enugu State, who actually want to escape through the border in Nigeria, who actually was apprehended by a man, by an immigration officer, could have been so possible if the immigrant officer is a corrupt official too. He will have allowed him to go scot-free. This security, our porous borders, our security intelligence should be strengthened, and they should act professionally. So I believe if they act professionally and it is more tightened, I believe that we will have a minimum numbers of some of these people coming into our countries. So that will be based on my reaction towards those questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we are now moving on to the second paper by Ms. Omogiwa and Joy Odewumi, titled Echoes of the Nigeria Civil War. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Omogiwa. I'm here presenting a paper titled Echoes of the Nigerian Civil War, co-authored with Dr. Joy Odewumi. Okay. In this paper, we try to trace the trajectory of violence so we divided Nigeria's period into three: pre-war, war, and post-war period. So we argue that the structural issues that led to the first coup and eventually the civil war can account for the decay, the moral decay we have in society today. So we use Achebe's Man of the People, Ezeigo's Roses and Bullets, and Leia Denle's When Trouble Sleeps to explain these periods. And we focus on so our particular focus is on elite corruption. We look at, if you remember Nzogu's speech after the coup, he highlights political profiteers and those that wish to keep the country divided for their personal gain. And so that's where we take our analysis from, that if he can point this out early on in our history, our independent history, then it must have a link with what we see in society today, especially as presented in Leia Denle's When Trouble Sleeps. So the Nigerian Civil War is, a defining moment in our contemporary history, say our historical history, and that's why we have divided periodization of Nigeria in these three aspects. And so we also point out that the legacies before the war still exist, and we can feel the consequences economically, socially, even politically.
Please tell us when to switch your slides. Okay.
Okay, so I'm moving to slide 3 now, or 4 rather. Right. And that's where you have the Nzogu's quotes that I've highlighted, political profiteers and the men in high and low places that seek to keep the country divided. So next slide, please. Now, this particular work focuses on, or the goal is to check or to analyze this link, elite corruption, with structural decay or moral decay of our society. And then we ask this question. Next slide, please. How do these texts reflect that unresolved issue, that led to the Civil War and that we can identify in our contemporary society today? And for the work, we use John Paul Ledrac's conflict transformation model. So for him, he feels that when we want to resolve conflict, it's not necessarily negotiation. It's more, we should do a deeper investigation, check, look at the structures. What are those things in society that led to that problem? Because if we just negotiate it, so you tell your friend, sorry, and it's okay, we haven't really resolved the issue. We've just cooled it down. And that's what I think, or that's what this paper is trying to point out, that's what's happening in Nigerian society. We just did the pacifying slogan of no victor, no vanquish. I did not win, you did not win. Let's continue our relationship. And it seems like it's not working. So for our methodology, we did a comparative literary analysis. So we looked at the textual and thematic representations of elite corruption. And so in particular, we link this elite corruption because we cannot look at all of the consequences that we think that this corruption is causing our society. So we looked at the commodification of women. How do people in political positions or elevated positions, not necessarily political, it could be economic power, how they commodify women. So for our analysis, we started with A Man of the People by Achebe. And if you remember, Chief Nanga, the Minister for Culture, and has starts up a friendship with Odili, a regular teacher. But what we take out of this work is Nanga's relationship with women. Nanga and his friend, the other Minister for Overseas Training, Chief Koko, to take women as commodities. So if you remember, there's this girl that Nanga is married, he has a wife with children, but it takes another girl that his wife is aware he's going to marry. And the purpose of starting up that relationship is for his political image. He wants to whitewash his image as a man that's married to an educated woman compared to the original wife that he has. So for him, Edna is not a woman. She's a means to an end. So she's a commodity that he wants to take from her father for his image. And then I also look at his relationship with Elsie, the girl that Odili, tries to, not that Odili likes the girl too, he wants to also, but Nanga strikes her off, steals Elsie from Odili. Because from the beginning of their relationship, you see this dynamic between Nanga and Odili. Seems like Nanga feels a little threatened by Odili's intelligence and demeanor. So it seems like he takes Elsie from under Odili's feet to assert his dominance over Odili, that you might be the intelligent one. I'm the one with the money. So in a way, he cheapens Elsie to a woman that can be bought. So in essence, an object that he buys. And then we move to the war period. So in Roses and Bullets, you have men like the protagonist's father-in-law, Chief Odoze, that strikes up a relationship with a woman in the refugee camp, puts her in one of the best rooms in the refugee camp, But the purpose of his relationship with that woman is not because, he has sympathy for her or he pities her. He's taking advantage of his position as the leader of that community and in charge of the refugee relief materials, which he even exploits. The protagonist Ginikan mentions them having kerosene when the other people don't have it. She mentions them having petrol to drive their car around when petrol is a scarce commodity. We also see the military men and their relationship with women. They call them war wives, where they just sleep with them. We even see a military man, even though Ginika says, I'm married, drugs her, he spikes her drinks, and sleeps with her because he feels, why would she tell me no? And so the elite that Nzogu has pointed out that, they are the ones causing this problem in society that he felt was trying to eradicate consistently, pull the country backward. And then for the post-war period, we have When Trouble Sleeps by Leia Daly. Now this text, the author beautifully explores godfatherism and electoral fraud. And then we see major characters or major political characters like Otumba Oluawo and his opponent, the political father for the other side, Ambrose Ade something. They have this tussle. Towards the end of the book, we realize that they're working together. So he's just a fake opponent, is to give the illusion that they're opponents, He collects money from the man to sponsor the opponent's election. So in a way, they are working together to bring the people down. Even the candidates that they choose, we have a candidate, Chief Ojo, that is Otumba's son-in-law. Ojo is a member of a harem where they take young girls from school. So one of the young girls that we are exposed to in the text is Maya Waido, but she calls herself Naomi because she looks like, in quotes, Naomi Campbell. So they take young girls from schools and then bring them into prostitution. So they keep them in homes and then they take them to secret hideouts where they do obscene and ridiculous things to them that even the girls feel uncomfortable about it, but the pay makes them, take it in. And then the author uses another female, Amaka, a journalist or so, and to, show or point that not all women. So Amaka is the resistance. She's the one that fights it, speaks for the girls, tries to free them, all of that. And so after our analysis, we realized that the Nigerian state itself, led by our elites, are the cause for the failed society. We also see that if the legacies from the war era and even before the war era are evident in our everyday lives, the using women for elites using women for their benefit and just exploiting women in general, particularly sexually. We also see that elites, dip their hands into the coffers, like we saw in Roses and Bullets. They just dip their hands into national coffers to enrich themselves at the detriment of the entire populace. So in conclusion, even though there's an absence of open warfare, it seems like we're still at violence, we're still fighting. You have women that fight major battles daily. For example, the Naomi character, every time they have to go into because the harem is in a bush, so they go there, they blindfold them, they are scared, they don't know what they would expect. When they get there, you don't know the man they will give you. Sometimes she tells Amaka, the protagonist, that there are times that the client they give you is violent. He says that he's king. He likes to beat women. And so you don't know what to expect or what you're expecting when you get to the harem. You're just, and there are also girls that they kill. For example, Ojo has a conversation with someone about embezzling money. One of the girls walks in, overhears the conversation, they kill her. Or they attempt to kill her. She doesn't die immediately, but she dies days after from the attack. So, and so in essence, the war really hasn't ended, especially for women. It hasn't ended. We've just moved it. We've moved the war from open combat to more of like a structural combat. And so we recommend that we have conversations about these things. We need to fight corruption, even at the minutest level. We have to go from as young as children to explain, corruption and the effect it has on their future, and, to at least try to put an end to all of the structural issues that Nzogbu had highlighted before the war took out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Giwa. First, I want to react to the paper. I want to say that paper should have been structured to be Echoes of the Nigeria Civil War on Women, or Echoes of the Nigeria Civil War on Nigerians. Well, most of the example you gave was from a women perspective, because I know that during war, women and children are the most hit, and they are not sung. It is the combatants, those who go to war, that are sung after the war. So I think you should structure the paper to read Echoes of Nigeria Civil War on Women. Thank you. Please, can we, if we have any questions, we can answer. Yes.
Thank you. I like your presentation, especially connection from pre-colonial, the colonial history. Yeah, my question is this. How do you still see the narratives about men? At the end, still exploring the women, where you see the JC generation sending their pictures to different places to contactors for so-called worship.
Hook up.
Yeah, prostitution, online prostitution.
Hook up.
So are these efforts are done there, or the women are actually have nationalized this system? I don't know. Is the trend still the same thing, or there is a situation?
Okay.
I think I have a question that I want to know. So in
Okay.
I think I love to call that you gender, so you popularize gender
Okay.
as a way of commenting on broader social issues, even in contemporary Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was trying to talk about,
Okay.
about the objectification of women.
Yes.
Now, the issue is you made mention of a woman who stood as an agent of resistance.
Yes.
And then you commented on the male decision behavior of using the character of the man that took a woman from another man.
Yes.
Okay. That is the one with the money and power.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one that is not that one. So the issue is now are women just ordinary recipient of this violence, as you have described in your presentation, and in relations to contemporary time.
Yeah.
Women being not just recipients this time of victim, but contributors to the violence that women themselves experience, full of the expectation of their own self, sending pictures everywhere on social media, how, and then the second question is still in line with that. How do we problematize women's role in contributing to all of this?
Okay.
Don't worry. Let them finish. And then the questions. No, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I actually enjoy the presentation. So I'll let's make it suggestion. The title.
Oh, okay.
In the title, I'm seeing echoes of the Nigerian school. I feel you can add echoes of Nigerian school in Nigerian selected literature.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's borders on literature. I was expecting to like shooting. I think it's yeah,
Thank you very much.
Selected Nigerian literature. Okay. Yes.
Yes, thank you. When she was presenting a paper, she said something about paper being divided pre-colonial
Analysis. So the analysis we divided. Yeah.
But I think in the issue of civil war,
Okay.
the bulk of all that talks civil war, normally we have immediate and
Remote causes, yeah. Okay.
and the one that means even 1946. And the about picture of picture constitution.
Okay.
Because it was then that Nigeria kind of a quasi federation.
Yeah.
All those things led to whereby everybody becomes together in a way, but all of us we are for yourself, those things of yourself and all also. And since then we have a kind of this issue of privacy and other things began to was where they are going.
Okay.
I think maybe we can increase so that we treat back into it as a historian.
Okay.
And say that.
Okay.
That the beauty of the sport does.
Okay. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
Can answer now.
Okay. So I'll start with the last. Okay. I am. Okay. I'll start with the last one. So I didn't do as much as drifting back because I felt like there are too many issues that led to Nigeria's problem. If we say that we should, start to highlight these issues, we have made it a thesis. That was what I had in mind when, I started to write the paper because technically you cannot just say just the politicians are responsible, but I tried to do like a narrow focus that let's highlight their contribution to it. It's more of the elite's contribution to the issues so that, the paper is not too lengthy. But I would probably mention it in my introduction of the remote and immediate causes of the war. Then selected Nigerian literatures. Yes, I considered it, but I don't know why I removed it. For the life of me, I cannot remember why. I didn't want it to sound too literary so that it would be open to a lot of people's contribution. Because if I just put selected literature, some people just say, my literature, this thing. So that's why I did not do that. Then women selling themselves. This is why the work, tries to highlight that it's a reaction. The morals that we usually hold on to before war will not apply during war. And so if somebody feels I'm between the devil and the hard place, or the rock and the hard place, whatever, how that saying goes, they will take whatever option they think they have to survive. And so you see in the war novel, there's a character there, Janet. She tells the protagonist that, oh, I have 3 lovers. I have the one that gives me accommodation. I have the one that I take things like soap and thread for my hair. And I have the one that I genuinely like. And all 3 are influential men. In essence, we can't really blame them. Obviously, we hold her accountable for our decisions because there are women during the war that did not mess themselves up. But at the same time, I don't think it would be fair to say, oh, she's responsible for her actions. The situation has made her pick these options or what she thinks are options, that are the only options for her survival. And so When Trouble Sleeps, the girl Mayowa comes from her parents are civil servants. She doesn't have a rich life from her youth, but she gets to Unilag studying economics, doing well in school, and then she competes for the Miss Nigeria pageant. Everybody says, oh, you are the best candidate, you are the most beautiful, you are the most eloquent, you are the most outspoken, but she comes second. And then the girl that wins is, and from the description, an obviously ugly person, bleached, not eloquent, but she wins. And then even Mayowa's mom tells her, you know what everybody is doing, you know the right thing to do. And so if you hear things like that, we cannot hold you accountable for how you interpret it. Or we can, but we will consider those kind of inputs. Now, the girls that sell themselves today, it's stemming from somewhere. I won't lie. When Hush Puppy was his prime, was intimidated, like, please, why am I going through all of this process? I don't even want to live Hush Puppy's kind of life. I just want a little bit of comfort. I want to wake up when I say, I feel like eating this today. I want to say, I want to eat it. Now, if I do not have strong convictions that, oh, I tell people I don't have the moral structure to do those things. I'm an impatient person. I'm quick-tempered. So I might go and meet one man that is supposed to give me money. He will say something and I will tell him that, are you mad? Why are you talking to me like this? Because I came here to beg for money. And so that's what I feel held me back from, But there are other people that don't have or will not rationalize their actions the way I might have done. And so I'm not going to completely hold the, in quote, Gen Z girls that are putting their naked pictures online. I'm going to hold the society that encourages it, the elites that sponsor this lifestyle that, makes other girls want to live that lifestyle.
Can I add to it? Women always take the backlash in everything, that kind of thing. Men make the rules, men do everything. All these things we are blaming all these girls for doing, men are doing them. Men are doing men are doing them. Men are doing them. But the problem is that because it's a patriarchal society, everybody just sees because the woman is a role model, she's supposed to be a mother, she's supposed to be a role model but are men not supposed to be role models too? But anything a woman does is there in world literature, and men makes it difficult for women. In I've forgotten the story by Sidoro Pewo, The Last Duty. Look at Oma Oshivere's wife. They locked everything in that village, ostracized her, so that nobody will talk to her. Can any man live in such isolation that the person who is troubling her, who put her husband in jail, came back to meet her? Because men narrows all the points about women. They narrow everything. If a man wants to get you, he does everything except you want to die. If you let me give an example with a film. That film. What's that film? These girls that Eukarya was in those days.
Glamour Girls.
Glamour Girls. You know the girl that was forced to Italy? She killed herself. I said to myself, why did she kill herself? She could have left this. But when she killed herself, we were happier. All of us, hey, she could not take it. So all women should be killing themselves? We cannot kill ourselves. If men are sincere, I know you have that small boy as boyfriend. I'll come with my money. Even as a lady, dress and stand in the bus stop, nobody talk to you. Once a man stands by your side, the other man in the car now say, why is she standing with a man that has no car? You will now park the luxurious car in your presence and say, baby, fine girl like you, why are you standing in the road? Hop inside my car. Then when the girl up, we say, Ashewo. If she does not help, we say she has integrity. But that man that brought that looseness to that lady, nobody blames him or him. The men are saints, the women are sinners.
Are you saying society is facing that?
You said?
Are you saying that society is facing that they are blaming women for all their actions?
No, anything a woman does.
Yes.
And men. Okay, now they are talking about gay men. They are talking about gay men in Nigeria. How many of it is so loud? But let them catch one woman in anything. They will keep reporting the negative cells. That woman. Even men say, you this woman. Fear, if you not fear woman, anything a woman does, I fear woman. No? Yes? Okay.
The question is, how do women contribute to making some accessories to this problem themselves? In regards to what you said about modern issues about objectification of women, women are themselves, how do they contribute? So now, in recent times, when we talk about the period of wars and conflict, it is possible that people bend and rules change. Like she rightly
Yes.
During war period,
yes.
But now, there is no more alcohol. How do women do their accessories?
That's why I said that the absence of open combat does not mean that the war has ended. because we are not holding guns, we assume that we are at peace.
No, he is saying that how do women contribute to this problem? Number one, women are their own worst enemy. So I must tell you that we are our own worst enemy. If I enter into a room and there are many women, the first thing is that
That's what I want.
look at her. But if a man sees a man looking good, the first thing the man says, "Guy, you're looking good." But women, no.
The reason
See the way she looks.
It will make my work richer if
Yes.
because the reason
Women are their own worst enemies.
you get mention of a woman who said she had a boyfriend that takes care of her.
Mhm.
So it looks like as if she takes pride in having that, not necessarily because she does take pride, but maybe because it makes her feel a little bit tired or superior.
Yes, there was a sense. There was a sense in which was bragging. Yes, you're right. She was bragging to, because the protagonist kept asking her, "Why do you look so clean, so neat, so put together?" And that was her response. "Oh, I have 3 men that do this for me." Oh, okay, yeah. In that sense, even the Naomi, in the when trouble sleeps, in a sense, did that too. You know, kept telling the protagonist, I was trying to help her out of the harem. Look at you. You're an ambassador's daughter. That's why you think that it doesn't matter. I don't have anything to go back to. And girls like, you have a degree. Says, what would the degree give me? I have a car. I live in this expensive apartment. I live the lush life. So, okay, in that sense, women do put themselves, out there. They do encourage it. They welcome it. Including
Women take a pride in excessive competition. They take pride in excessive competition. Men likes healthy competition, but women, they say, "Okay, you, I know that is what you are, so I will bring you down." But a man does not think like that. We have to reframe our heads to start thinking a little like men. Yes.
Sorry, and she wanted to ask a question too.
Yes. No, after
Yes,
you.
I just wanted to comment that which you actually mentioned. I was really happy that you mentioned when he mentioned that he understands that during war duality is fluid.
Yes.
Right? And then what came to mind was the fact that the war hasn't ended. There are various wars. There's gender war.
Yes.
There is economic war.
Yes.
And women have to navigate these things. So they seem complicit, but there are certain factors that make them complicit.
Yes.
There are survival modes that are switched on as a result of certain contexts. So, it becomes, especially when we are working within the context of humanity, trying to understand people in depth, right? It blurs our perspective when we put a moralistic judgment. And then we begin to see things from the perspective of morality. So, and of course, in novels, characters develop.
Yes.
So we also need to see that as a development of character.
Yes.
That
Dynamic
as a
character.
result of various.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I'm going to say.
Thank you. That lady wanted to ask a question.
Let's make it comment.
Okay. No. Okay.
It's incredible. This is, the conversation that's continuing. Thank you. I think people is speaking louder.
Hi everyone, I'm just sharing that this is a wonderful presentation and that the conversation that we're having is the conversation that we'll continue having because we are not really dealing with the root of the problem. You've already mentioned the problem. Everything that we do as women is always nice because there's always markets for the competition. So it's not like men don't have, and also they're trying to generalize because there are men who also do the same things too. So I'm talking about men specifically, in this sense that you don't have solidarity amongst each other, but it is not really true, right? There's some sense to it, where we don't expose. You just explain that when we have this antagonistic way of looking at it, it's not all the time, but that's what it's often portrayed in the media. So also like further this narrative that we don't care for each other, that we don't love each other. Exactly, but it's not necessarily true, right? It's not, right? Because it's varied. And when it happens, it's because we have always been in a position where we are competing with each other because we are made to believe that we are not enough, right? So, and you have to think about it like, who does narrative serve? Right? When you hear stories about yourself, maybe about your hair, you put your skin color and all this stuff. who does marriage serve? You look at the men which are patriarch, and wait, this one is the patriarch.
Yes.
And the way gender is differentiated across every sector of our society, across so we can't, blame, women or young girls for participating in certain things. But of course, we all are accountable for our action. But we cannot, remove the fact that there is a market for the sex trafficking, there's a market for every single thing that women are doing, right? And there are men who absolutely
Yes.
in different strata, right? Different strata.
No client, no business.
So you cannot say that, oh, why are they doing this? Like you're putting back the blame again, just like you said, on the players. Ask yourself, where is the market coming from? Why are we having, billboards of what's the idea, what it looks like, what the ideal can be, right? Ask this question. There's a power dynamics as well. No matter what, people within women of different strata, men of different strata, there's some men who have different forms of it. We all have power.
Yes.
We do. So I would leverage that power. But I just want us to really think critically about how we are always, just like you already said, blaming, blaming mothers, blaming, and you're looking like, so what is my role in this? What can I do? When I ask, what can I do? Being really truthful to yourself, like what can you really do to address this issue? And do you really want to address this? But let's also be taking a little power that you think you have from yourself. Are you ready to do that? Are you ready to challenge other men? Right? Are you ready to be honest with each other? Right? This is part of that conversation. I don't think we're ready to have that conversation. But this is an excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So it has a question.
Yeah.
It's a great presentation and both Louisa, Florida International University, getting to see the moral framework from completely different nations is very interesting. Seeing that your perspective is seeing morality as a moral breakdown in a war setting. I wonder if that was just a reflection of the moral breakdown that was already there, or just expedited.
Yes, that's what I tried to point out. Yes.
Morality prior to it, and then more exposed.
Yes, and then it continues till.
So in terms of the perspective of the slut shaming that seems to be occurring, the Madonna war complex that seems to be occurring, which is evident within a lot of African diaspora as well as Africa as well. Could the challenge be reflected back that women are being projected as the moral decay that's occurring all around, and women are like the spear point of which can be pointed to? Where in reality, like if you look at it, Adam and Eve, right? Let's take it back to the God. Who did God speak to the breakdown occur? To Adam, right? So if God himself went to the man when the breakdown occurred, always the issue starts with us.
Okay.
And the challenge that occurs, especially in the situation with war, as you said, who drives for the most part war, or who drives these situations, which are men. The issue has always started there. There's a lack of accountability, and that breakdown in accountability seems evident in the books that you were reading about. And the women seem to be responding to that lack of accountability and creating their own environment to deal with that lack of accountability. And so, in speaking about even the current issues now, it's just it seems like that's just a continuous cycle of that same lack of accountability. And the women who probably reflect what their fathers have been doing, their brothers have been doing, are just suggesting that situation now.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So in absence of any question, thanks for joining us in this group section. We thank all of you for coming, and we hope to see you in the next. So this is the end of the section. Thank you very much.